Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at how America looked this morning when they got into work today. Well, the ones that aren't soft, as the Super Bowl is over and the world, at least in the United States, some people had to go to work today. But right. I thought I'd share that with you. And wait a second. Somebody's here tonight. I know what you're saying.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike is back.
Yes!
And we had a trial run last night to see if he could find a parking spot. Well, apparently today was much harder to get a parking spot than today. Well, that spot where he parked at yesterday.
Yeah.
I understand why they put the recycling out today, because that they had one car that was parked there on yesterday, but they didn't have it there today. So we did find him a spot today, close to the building.
Yes.
Just got to tell him to watch his step when he goes outside.
Yeah.
Because it is a little slippery out, because there was some melting today, even though I don't think it got to 32 degrees.
No, I don't think it did either.
But technically, you don't really need 32 degrees because it's like sun angle and stuff like that. But according to my phone, it got to 29. At least that was here in my area of the city. But anyways, welcome on in, everybody. Mike decided to show up this week. So
yeah.
Well, all right. In all fairness, we had a rule when Mike agreed to do the Monday night show with me. We said we are going to have a snow rule, which is basically, if it snows, you got an out. And Mike took advantage of it a few times. And I told him, you're not getting away with it this. No, I'm kidding. But if he decided, even today, if he decided, I ain't coming, I'm like, okay. But he was here. We had a test run last night. We did not do a show last night because I didn't feel like doing a show last night. And also, the Eagles were not in the Super Bowl, so we didn't have a post-game show either.
Nope. Exactly. Nope.
And I just came up with another topic we could discuss here. So, we got a lot to talk about here. We'll talk a lot about the Super Bowl. Some things here that, we don't, I don't, you were saying, you were mentioning some guy's name earlier today, right before the show started, right?
Some guy, yeah.
I would have seen that sooner, Mickey, but I still had the music panel up here. So
wow, toss them right on up. Okay.
Mike is a pro, unlike me. Well, Mickey, I will like to tell you something. Okay. First of all,
he's an asshole.
No, I'm only kidding, Mickey. I did a show on Friday morning. Okay. I did my horse racing show, a special Friday morning edition, long before you wake up, because you're on the West Coast. I'm not telling you to join me or anything, I don't want you gambling away or anything like that. And, by the way, Tiger's in the house. Even though it looks like, kind of looks like Peyton Manning's forehead got a tan. But yeah, we'll talk Super Bowl. We're not going to talk X's and O's or things like that. Just little observations and things like that. Things like that. And we'll talk about that. I'll give you my opinion on the Bad Bunny thing because some people say, "Oh, it's the best thing ever. It was the best one ever." And and of course, depending on what side of the political spectrum, oh, it's the worst thing ever because he's not even American. Well, asshole, Puerto Rico is part of the United States. It's just a territory. It's not a actual state. But then again, I did hear something a couple of months ago that our president was talking to the leader of the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Was he now?
You know who the leader of the Virgin Islands is?
Wait. Yeah.
I was talking to the leader of the Virgin Islands. Had a great talk. One of the best talks I ever had.
Oh, jeez.
So he was talking to himself.
Basically, yeah.
But there is this thing. There is a, I'm not going political here, but there's a thing called epistemic crisis on Instagram. I showed it to you a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
There's a thing. There's a thing about it. So, and Mickey's talking shit already.
Already? Oh.
In September. And by the way, that game with the Seattle is here in Philly, and I guarantee it's going to be a Sunday night game.
It is.
So, but I digress. So, I had that. So we're going to talk about, in general, the game itself. And we'll get into that. We'll talk about Bad Bunny. Now, we're not going to talk about the commercials because, one, we didn't take note of them too much.
Nope.
And the other reason why is I forgot to DVR the game. But then again, it's not an Eagles game, so why do I really? But then again, that's the reason why you do it, so you can
right.
review the commercials and stuff like that. And I could have just gone on to Access Hollywood or X Hamster. I mean, oops, sorry. You know what X Hamster is?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're familiar with that?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yes, for when you get. Oh, sorry.
Hey.
So, I totally forgot what I was saying now.
Super Bowl commercials.
Yeah, so I didn't take any notes on the Super Bowl commercials. I didn't care about the Super Bowl commercials. All I was worried about was my one parlay going to hit? And it did. I still lost on overall, but that's only because I was trying a couple of different things, and sometimes you go with gut feeling and stuff like that, and but I went 3-8 on my wagers, but I only lost 0.4 units. That's only because well, we're also here watching the Olympics right now, and we're trying to read lips here. And I think I saw one of the females in this ice dancing competition tell her partner that her partner's breath smells like another man's dick. No, I'm only kidding. But
gee, Mickey, he's ready tonight. Okay.
Yeah, Mickey's all wound up because he was probably. Well, I did see this last night, and apparently, hopefully I saved it on here. Apparently Steve Wagner hit for over $600 on a Super Bowl.
Did he?
But you know what? He probably spent like $1,000.
Yeah.
He doesn't tell you about the tickets. At least when I send him a picture of my winnings,
Uh-huh.
you actually see how much I wagered.
Right.
And I also told him when I texted him this afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
I told him that, yeah, I lost a little bit, but, you know, these were the big hits I had. Buh, 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 buh.
Mickey's in Seattle?
He's in that area.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know where exactly. You know, I just know he's in the Pacific Northwest. That's enough for me.
Fair enough.
No, I didn't share it, but or is it on my? Did I put it on my Insta stories? So that's the last option I have here. Or, and by the way, just a little fun fact. The last 3 times we had a new pope, the Seahawks got to the Super Bowl.
Really?
And the last 2 times we had a new pope.
Yeah.
Pope Francis in 2013.
Right.
Pope Leo. Now, if we were actually more professional, I would have muted that. Mickey is in Tacoma, apparently, just south of Seattle.
Okay.
The Patriots did not have a happy ending. No, and you know what? I'm going to share that in a second too, because apparently Saturday night, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, who apparently they're still together because I heard rumors that they broke up. She actually trolled Robert Kraft at the UNC Duke game.
Whoa.
Hopefully, I still have it.
Wow.
But this year, Pope Leo, you know, Chicago fans were hoping for a little Chicago divine intervention, but Seattle ended up winning again.
Yep.
So I wonder if they're going to make Seattle play in the Vatican. But also, the Vatican has one of the highest crime rates per capita in the world.
Okay.
Well, that's only because it's like this big.
Right.
Literally.
Okay.
Oh, and if you remember that play towards the end of the game where we were like, oh, that's a broken play, and Darnold had to take the knee?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, we're going to get into some of the other stuff here because I'm trying to find this picture.
Okay.
Sam Darnold's rush prop was 5.5 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He had 11 yards before that play that I mentioned. That was supposed to be a handoff, and he ended up taking it for a 6-yard loss.
Right.
He finished the game with 5 yards. So for those that had over 5.5.
Exactly. Wow.
Oh, and also, got to give one to Stefon Diggs. This is from Novig on Instagram. Stefon Diggs had 5 receiving yards.
That's it.
He had 5 receiving yards. Meanwhile, he has 6 baby mamas.
All right, then.
Okay, so it's not there. And I survived the bad beat last night too, by the way. You remember the bad beat that I dodged last night?
Oh, wait a minute. I think I do. Huh?
Walker had that rushing touchdown called back.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Because that would have put me over.
Yes, it would have.
Which would have been a loss because my parlay, which I gave out on Thursday night, was actually 45, not 45.5, I believe.
Okay.
I had Seattle minus 4.5, and I had the under 45.
Yeah.
It might even have been 45.5, but I got it at 45.5.
Yeah, you did dodge a bullet. Yes, you did.
So I dodged a major bullet with that because I was like, oh dear God, thank you. But none of my other parlays hit the 3 and 4 leggers I had. So, and the Hawks play the Patriots this year. They also got to play the Eagles. So,
Yep.
Sorry. That's the only. You know how you talk shit about other teams.
Yeah.
Even though Seattle never faced the Eagles last year, you can't talk shit to the Seahawks right now. Seahawks fans right now.
Nope, not right now.
Maybe mid-season you can start talking shit because you beat them like 34-3 in Philly or whatever. But
yeah, but not right now.
Yeah. So, but that's not what we're going to talk about as well. But some of the things we're going to talk about here, and I don't know where the hell this went. And I got one last thing here, one last hope. Actually, two, because I know one other place that I could have shared it. No. Okay. Well, there's one last spot. One more place I can think of. Oh, okay. They changed it to threads.com. Because it used to be threads.net.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I found it.
Okay.
Let me let this run through one time. And I'm going to say one thing here. Oh, great. This ain't doing what I want it to do, damn it. All right. So we're going to have to get into this live here. So I want to share my screen here because I like this on Threads today. Apparently, we have imposters in fans because here we see a Seattle Seahawks fan or some kid in Seattle who don't even know who the Seahawks are climbing a pole.
Wow. Jeez.
Come on, buddy. You're not cool, okay? You're not Philly cool.
No, definitely not Philly cool.
Because, we still get up the pole after they grease the fucking poles.
right.
You wouldn't be going with if you climbed up the pole like that because my pants are ruined. But, that's something I saw here earlier today. And, but, just give you a little rundown here. There's a problem with the medals at the Olympics, thus the name of the show tonight. We'll talk about Lindsay Vonn maybe if Mike feels like talking about it.
Yeah.
North Dakota State has a new football conference. We have a record winning streak in progress. Record got broken last night.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have his pants in a mess. And last week, I told you about the woman on North Front Street by Front and Girard.
With a car.
And I know Mickey would be like, why are you telling me Front Street and all that? But, there was a car that was completely encased in ice. Well, the owner of that car, well, let's just say we have an update on the person whose car that was. That's probably the best way to frame it. So,
It is.
so anyways, we watched the game last night. First of all, Mike said great wings, and I appreciate that because, well, first of all, I told Mike this story when he got here, but apparently I ordered not one, not two, not three, but orders. Actually, I think it was three, but I just.
Yeah, of course.
So the girl, well, first of all, what a miss next Tuesday she was, despite doing a good deed and saying, hey, we got 3 or 4 orders from you. Only because all she had to say was the order with the onion rings is the one that I want, because that was the one that was different, because the other 3 were the same.
Right.
2 or 3. Okay. No goodbye, no thank you, no nothing. So I end up ordering on Grubhub, I think it was. Now, usually I give the drivers 1 star.
Right.
Because the problem I have with Grubhub, DoorDash, I don't use Uber Eats. I mean, I should put Uber Eats on this phone, but I don't. Because I put in plain English, front door, because but the side door that you come in from does have a security camera there and all that, but you have to buzz to get in or whatever. So
right.
And I have no problem going to the front door, but the problem is I have to watch them like Pac-Man, just to see where they are, because one night I was playing.
Who the fuck is that?
We're like, where the fuck is that guy?
Wow.
So, but yeah, we had some good food.
Yeah, we did.
And pizza's still in the fridge because.
Call leftovers.
Well, I even hit the leftovers today because that Dunkin' deal.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because I loaded up on breakfast this morning.
Okay.
By the way, the grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, Mickey, when I went to get my colonoscopy, I almost got kicked out because I showed that first person, this Asian chick, I showed her my tattoos, and the one butt cheek says "Do not enter," and the other one says "Wrong way."
You got that, Mickey? Okay, good.
Nah, seriously, but yeah, I am exit only, and I like tacos. It's not just on Tuesdays. But
yeah,
so we watched the game, and I told Mike from the very beginning, and even I said it on Thursday, this is going to be a defensive battle.
Yeah, you did.
Because you got 2 quarterbacks, one who's a reformed New York Jet.
Yeah.
And the other who apparently had a shoulder injury that was still lingering, even though they took him off the injury report. But Drake May still broke a record for most passing yards in a quarter. It's amazing when things go as soft as a 90-year-old man's dick. But it was the defensive struggle I expected, and you got to hear some of Captain Ron's comments on the game.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
And Seattle won. Congratulations. Just keep that trophy nice and shiny for when the Eagles take it back next year, because there is a little bit of a pattern here.
Yes, it is.
Get to the Super Bowl,
Yep.
lose. Get to the Super Bowl, lose.
Yep.
Or not make the playoffs.
Yep.
So, or get eliminated in the playoffs, I should say. Or in the first round of the playoffs even. So, but, it was very obvious because New England, I think they were pretty damn good against the run this year.
They were.
And it's just that Kenneth Walker just lit them up. Now, you saw me put that wager in at halftime.
Yeah.
And how many people were thinking, that fucking kicker's going to win it? Yeah, Mike. Yeah. Especially, they had a Disneyland commercial? I mean, now granted, I had the Kansas game on. And by the way, one of the worst bets I ever made in my history today, because one of my wagers, one of the few wagers I had because I didn't do anything, which makes me not want to play the Sixers tonight. Because I don't want to be chasing money.
Right.
NC State was 9-2, 18-6 going into tonight. They had won 6 in a row. And they lost 118-77.
Ouch. Ouch.
Mm-hmm. So that was not good.
No.
But okay, so I got that all set for later. So but was this everything expected with the game for the most part?
For the most part.
I mean,
devoid of excitement, yeah.
Yeah.
Defense, yes.
And what was scary was when I was on Captain Ron's show on Wednesday night, I told him, don't be surprised if this is a 13-3 game.
Ooh.
Now, he's a Rams fan because he used to be in St. Louis, and you know how the Rams moved to St. Louis and went back to L.A.
Right.
That Super Bowl, I mean, when they moved to L.A., he stayed a Rams fan.
Right.
That Super Bowl, he lost 13-3 to the Patriots.
Yep.
That was the easiest undercover I had in my life. It's the over-under was like high 50s.
Right.
It's like, I'm taking the under here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're nuts. You're nuts. Well, I got something to say about these nuts, because these nuts say take the under because it's going to be a major course correction in the game. And it was. But I looked at that game. I was like, Drake May had been struggling most of the playoffs anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he was struggling because of the shoulder injury.
Right.
But he didn't do anything.
Well, here's the thing that we had mentioned, but he went through Houston's defense, Chargers defense, Denver's defense.
Mm-hmm.
He got upgraded every time until he got the top defense. That's a lot to overcome.
Yeah. And truthfully, I just think, if his shoulder is healthy, he had all kinds of problems. And, can I take a really cold take here?
What's that?
I don't think Sam Arnold's oblique was hurt at all in the playoffs. I think that was bullshit.
Ooh, okay.
But, whatever. So, and the one thing I do want to say more than anything else, And I said I was going to do this. I did it right as soon as the game was over because, I can't tell you how many times I posted something, I had to delete something before somebody responded. Congratulations to the New England Patriots, the first team to lose 6 Super Bowls.
I saw that. And yes, they are. It's like, but we want to, but you've lost 6 Super Bowls. It's like, you're high here, you're low here. Yeah.
And I just think that I was watching First Take today. Don't ask me why.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
But here's the news on Drake May that I found here. Drake May said he received a pain-killing injection from his injured right shoulder before the team's loss to the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. He said after the game, I shot it up, so not much feeling. It was good to go, and it felt all right. So maybe they have an excuse, Patriots and the Patriots fans. Last thing we want is the Patriots have an excuse, the Patriots fan base, that is.
Drake May did land on that shoulder about 5 times last night.
5 of the 8.
Right.
And he also had an interception.
Right.
Where,
oh, look at the ball.
Yeah. And by the way, thank you for changing that into an interception because I had Drake May over 1.5 interceptions. So, but I went 3-8 on my wagers. But the thing is, I never take odds below -110. I will rather sit out, or sometimes I will tell you guys when I do the Philly fade, I will tell you guys. Normally I don't take this, but for the sake of the little skit that I do here, we're going to go with it. So, because I'm not the type of person where I don't want to take. If I were to bump it up to $100 winning, a -160 means you have to bet 160 to win 100.
Yeah.
I would rather bet +1 something, put the $100 down and get 2 something back.
Yeah.
Now you're not getting as much as betting the 160, but you lose with a favorite, you're down 160, not the 100. But also, for those that are watching and don't even know what I'm talking about, part of the thing is, you actually, you can actually bet less than 100. That's just a guide for you. So you can bet $5. I was doing $5 wagers yesterday because of the fact that a lot of the promos that I had on Caesars and Fanatics were $5 max bets. So, always check your terms and conditions. And if you have a gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER. So, like a lot of things I was doing, like, for example, I shared on Pickett because I saw SJ post that she went, what did she go yesterday? She went 7-20, but she was up 3.5 units. But then again, there may have been some wagers where she bet more than 1 unit.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can set on the Pickett app. It'll guide you it'll keep track of all your wagers. You can guide it by saying your 1 unit wager is $10. For me, it used to be 25.
Right.
I just set it to 10 because I think that's how she does it. I think, or maybe mine even just reset to 10. I'm just like, fuck it, yeah. But I lost 0.4. She won 3.5 units. So I don't know how much she wagered, but she's got some money in her pocket. And I don't have a complete bloodbath. And, I'm not calling 1-800-GAMBLER. I'm not even, well, actually, even because one thing I try to do is I try to do the horse racing. When I do the horse racing show, I show you guys the promotions on FanDuel.
Yeah.
They have two different money back promotions. One for feature races on FanDuel Racing, and also the Kentucky Prep ones. The regular one is up to $10. The Kentucky Derby Prep is $20. Well, I'm recycling $20 right now because the two races on Saturday, the Tampa Bay, the Sam F. Davis, Tampa Bay Derby's next month. The Sam F. Davis, my horse finished second or third. That rolled over back into my account. I play the race at Santa Anita, whatever that was. Now, that was definitely a race I wasn't going to write.
Right.
And, of course, I haven't written an article last couple of days. We won't get into that, it's not anything major, but the Santa Anita race, I finished third. And if you were here on Saturday, you would have thought that I was Jim Rome, a constipated Tony Romo. I don't know, Jim. But he did get up late for third and got my money back. And then as the horses are crossing the wire, I'm counting like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, good. 8 horses ran the race. So my horse finishing third, I get my money back.
Right.
Because there's different promotions on there. So, but she was betting on FanDuel. I wasn't. It was just that I had that $20 stuck on the horse racing side until I wager on it. Maybe tomorrow, because I might get bored, and whatever their race of the day is, if I get a free program somewhere,
Yeah.
Because the articles that I do write, for the most part, especially during the week, they are free programs.
Right.
Like, for example, with some of the things that may go down the pike, and also my free time and stuff like that, I could expand to 2 races a day. If the two sites that I would use,
right,
if they don't commingle their race and have the same race for both, which happens from time to time. Like, for example, if we were writing today, the race would have been Sunland Park in New Mexico. They had a race. They had a minor stakes race there. Now, the race on Equibase was a race from Will Rogers Downs in Oklahoma. So it's just, but I saw that after the fact. But I was told you don't have to write any articles next time. Okay.
Yeah.
But you just got the feeling, going back to football, because that's what we're really talking about here in this opening segment. But Mike's like, oh, here it goes on that fucking tangent. But there wasn't much suspense in the game.
No.
The only suspense in the game was, is Seattle going to get a shutout?
Oh no, about the other suspense.
What other suspense?
Yes, they call him the streak.
I saw there was an article. I didn't look at. There was some advertising on the front and the back.
Is that what the guy had on?
Yeah, but they don't show that.
Right, because they just showed him being like the Geico commercial with the.
Let me see something here.
When they tackle, they said
Now,
he was right into the tackle the guy. Yeah.
Now, this is what you want. And I met Kevin Harlan a couple years ago.
Oh, did you? Okay.
On Radio Row.
Cool guy?
Yeah.
Cool.
Kevin. And whenever there's a streaker, first you hope Kevin Harlan's calling the game on the radio.
Right.
This video is probably going to end up getting pulled on Bleacher Brothers and, whatever. But I got some alert. That ad blockers are not allowed on YouTube. Well, fuck you, I'm using. But anyways, here's from a couple of years ago when the Rams were playing the Niners. Or as I found out from some chick in Australia, the Rams and the 69ers.
Right? Yes, we did.
But here's the call from Kevin Harlan. And this is a news story here, so I think we can get away with this.
Mm-hmm.
And if it gets pulled, AJ, I'm sorry. Because he told me about me playing WWE and it got pulled. I'm like, oops. I'm like, did I? And then, like a day later, it's, oh yeah, I did that Cooper DeJean thing, and then they showed Cam Scattaboo, and he had a bit of a skit with Dominic Mysterio. But here's the story here from KPIX. This is from a couple of years ago, so here we go.
There weren't a lot of big plays to get excited about, so you'll have to forgive radio announcer Kevin Harlan for getting a little carried away when a fan ran out of the field.
Somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs at the 50. He runs at the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms. Bare-chested. Somebody stop that man.
Here comes the blue coat,
Oh,
Kevin.
they got him.
Here comes
They're coming
the blue
from the
coats.
left. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line. Oh, that was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.
You have to love Kevin Harlan.
Yeah. And there's also a couple of bloopers where he goes double entendre on you. There's one that it's like, he likes catching big balls or something. Something like, I forget what it was, but that's but that's what I was thinking when they said that there was a guy on the field last night. And I'm going to say one thing, and I'll go on to my other rant, even though it's not really a rant and I don't have it set up. Some sports books, because it happened with Vegas, because some guy bet on a fan to go on the field during the game.
Oh, wow.
So he put a wager on it. He went on the field so he can collect the ticket.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. So Vegas, sports, other sports books in the United States and even offshore, stop it.
Right.
But how come the player? Well, actually, Mickey, that was from a couple of years ago. That was actually, man, I think that was Chip Kelly's first game as the Niners head coach back when he coached 1 year and had them going 2-14.
Yeah.
I think it was 2-14. The only wins were against the Rams, against Mr. 7-9, Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, I think. Well, part of the reason why is oh, he hurt me, I'm gonna sue him.
Yep.
That may be the reason why. I don't know.
That's part of it.
But
the other part is, aren't they working?
And also, some guys don't give a shit.
Exactly.
And they'll just drive him into the ground like he's, just like the guy is Braun Breaker from WWE with the spear, or Goldberg.
Did we see that one time where one of the players actually caught one of the streakers that actually just drove him in the ground?
I think so.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, there was one from a couple of years ago. Remember, somebody tried to streak it. Well, not necessarily streak, but run around the field at Citizens Bank Park,
That's right.
and the Braves out left fielder just went, just stuck his leg out.
He did, yeah,
Whoops.
he did. Yep.
So, and there was a guy where he was like, "Don't tase me, bro," and he got tased.
Right.
But so stop it. I understand it's the world stage, and I don't know what the ratings were or whatever, but and I'm not even going to get into that, but the other halftime shows and stuff like that. But I do want to say one thing before I talk about the halftime show that we watched, which was the actual halftime show, which won't be much talking about. But I do want to say one thing. First of all, do you know when the Super Bowl is next year, Mike?
I mean,
what?
What channel?
No.
Oh, yeah,
when?
Yes, I do. It's going to be Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm. And you know what that also means, right?
Yes. No tackle for you, dear. Wait till tomorrow.
Besides that.
What?
What is the third Monday in February?
What is the third Monday in February? President's Day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
So all these losers in this country are getting their wish next year. Now, granted, a lot of single ladies are probably going to be breaking up with their boyfriends because it's going to be, you got to choose between me and football because it's Valentine's Day. And I'm a materialistic bitch, and I want the spotlight on me.
And what's the name of that NSYNC song that someone might be telling them? Bye, bye, bye.
Yeah. So I just think that, everybody complaining about the game ending too late, about having to go to work the next day. And I saw the article flash on my phone this morning, but I couldn't find it. It was one of my AOL things, because you know how the Verizon.net email got taken over by AOL, and they moved it to the AOL server.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have my Verizon.net email.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, they said something about that, and they were saying something about everybody calling out today because of it. Or did I actually? Oh, I closed all these program shit. No, I didn't. All right. Why is my phone saying I'm in Boynton Beach, Florida?
Oh, that.
Or AOL is.
Oh, okay.
There we go. I fixed it. But let me see if I can find it here, because they were basically saying how Super Bowl Monday. Super Bowl Monday sick day. I think that's what it is. Well, this is from Tallahassee.com. Hopefully I can read this without. So now I know you didn't because you're here today. It also doesn't hurt that showtime isn't until 9 o'clock. No.
No.
No. Did you wake up with the Super Bowl flu today?
No.
I can tell you what I woke up with.
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
Now that was not planned. It was like, as I'm saying, did you have the Super Bowl flu? As I said, I'm like, oh, wait a second. But an estimated 26.2 million Americans said they plan to miss work the day after the big game, breaking the record for Super Sick Monday.
Okay.
For the second year in a row, according to a survey, the human resources management firm Ultimate Cronus Group, UKG. In 2025, 22.6 million employees stayed home, potentially costing up to $5.2 billion in lost work and productivity.
And that was just in Center City, Philadelphia.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to have a Philadelphia city job and call out, because you don't want Aunt Viv coming at you. But
yeah.
So last year's record-breaking prediction preceded Super Bowl 59 being the most watched program in history, and data showed employees are not only playing ahead for it, but also hoping for an assist from their employer. More than 13 million people said they plan to take a pre-approved day off, up from 12.9 million. As for the rest of the no-shows, here's how they plan to work it per UKG survey responses. 6.5 million people plan to swap shifts with a coworker, up from 4.8 million. You know, whatever. 3.3 million intend to call out sick, just a touch above last year's number.
Right.
Wait, my nurse is telling me that this is my issue.
I have a bad case of diarrhea.
No, I don't have it loaded on here. Damn it.
Which one?
I heard that you were feeling.
Oh, that one. Yeah. That was on the other one. Yeah, that's right.
No,
yeah.
I didn't put it on here.
You put that one. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'm just looking, just to make sure, because I do have this now.
That's funny.
So 1.6 million plan to ghost work and just not show up without employing their employer. Well, 1.6 million jobs just open up.
Yeah.
It sounds bad, but it's a considerable drop compared to 3.2 million. 8.2 said they will decide what to do today. But the thing is, I will say this. I think I only had off the Monday after the Super Bowl once. And that was only because I had 2 weeks of vacation in a row so I could work in Vegas for the Super Bowl. Because I was doing the Radio Row thing.
Okay.
And the way I had it planned was Radio Row was the first part of the trip. The second half of the week was doing whatever with my friends out there here.
Right.
We got together the night before the Super Bowl. But whatever. So I just think America is getting softer and softer with every passing month and year. Here's an idea. First, there's Uber, there's Lyft, there's the old-fashioned taxi cab. Well, guess what? How about you stop drinking that 15th beer or 26th whiskey?
That is a good idea.
Because, you could show up to work like this, You know, you could show up looking like Tiger Woods mugshot. You know,
Right.
it's just one day.
Right.
You know, just oh yeah, we're in that world where everybody will take pictures of you, and they'll hold it against you when you're coming in with your hair in 18 different directions and your face like. So
So next year, all bets are off as far as I want to take off because of this. I'm sick. You don't have to do that next year because next
Well-
year,
how about now? I know this is a radical idea, but I think my idea opens up the possibility of cold weather Super Bowls. But I don't think they were going. I don't think they would have liked this year if they were at the Meadowlands like they were about 10 years ago.
oh no, no,
The last time Seattle won,
yeah, no, no.
because Seattle and Denver got lucky because it was like 45 that day,
Yeah,
which, believe it or not, was not the coldest Super Bowl.
that's true. That's true. There was
Because the
cold-
coldest Super Bowl was actually in New Orleans when they used to play at Tulane Stadium. It was 38 degrees for Super Bowl 8.
good memory. Okay.
Now, I saw it online because
Oh.
I was watching a thing about Tulane Stadium and the New Orleans Saints and
Okay.
stuff. But also, they also had, you know, and also the next day, no one could get home the next day because, oh, by the way, the day after the Super Bowl,
Mhm.
the whole East Coast got hit with a snowstorm. So, but the thing is, my solution, which is different from everybody else's, which will open up the possibility of a cold Super Bowl or colder Super Bowl, depending on where you go, because you know you're also talking about the infrastructure of hotels and Radio Row and all the things that they do behind the scenes and all the parties and shit. I'll say it right now. Saturday night Super Bowl.
Wow. Wow.
Because let's say you have another Super Bowl at the Meadowlands.
Right.
Let's say it snows.
Right.
You postpone it to Sunday.
That's true.
Whereas if you have a Sunday Super Bowl that's postponed, unless you have President's Day, you're going to have a regular work day.
That's true. Wow.
Or you just got to say, fuck it, we're going to play through it.
That's a good idea.
But that's just me. But, you know.
Saturday Super Bowl.
Oh, we play on Sundays. Well, guess what? Once you're in February, the antitrust laws do not apply because you don't have college football anymore.
Nope.
You don't have high school football.
Nope.
But,
that's a good idea. I like that.
And the whole Bad Bunny thing, I think you and I are in agreement here. And, you know, and the one thing is we're not like First Take. We're not like Skippy's old show on FS1.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't take the opposite side just for the purpose of taking the opposite side and whatever. You know, if we agree, so be it. But we watched the Bad Bunny thing, the halftime show. I did not understand a fucking word he said, and neither do you. But here's the thing. My opinion, I have no opinion on it. Other than the fact that, yeah, I would have loved to see Metallica play there because they are from the Bay Area.
That makes sense.
But the NFL never does it.
No.
Like, for example, Gloria Estefan. She might have been like a side act in one of the Miami Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
But as a headliner, you know which Super Bowl she headlined?
Which one?
The first Minnesota Super Bowl.
Did she?
I think so.
Wow.
This is why I probably should get somebody to be my behind the scenes guy and look that shit up.
Right.
But you know, I do the role of about 5 or 6 people. So
Well, it is your show.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it's not that, it has nothing to do with English versus Spanish or the fact that he's from Puerto Rico. And by the way, Puerto Rico is part of the United States, unless we have them declare independence and we have a war over it. Oh wait, that's but I mean, Puerto Rico is a territory.
Yep.
And and also you got to remember, you have a president who has dementia. But we're not going to get into the politics side here.
No.
And meanwhile, if AJ's watching, oh Jesus Christ, now I got to deal with losses. Yeah.
Here's the other thing that we said.
And I'll just say, hey, go to epistemic crisis on and we can direct all the stuff to him. But I don't listen to the music. And the only reason I don't listen to music is it doesn't come up on my Spotify. It doesn't come up with the music I've downloaded. It doesn't, it's just nothing that I listen to. Now, if it came up on Spotify, would I listen to it? I'd be like, yeah, because it's like one of 30 songs I might discover weekly.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, I'll just add it to my random list here, and somebody who follows me will see that I'm listening to my random songs list, and let me save that list there. But but the thing is, even though I wanted somebody else to be the all-star, to be the show, to be the halftime show, there really isn't nothing really, because the thing is, the NFL doesn't give a shit what you think.
That is correct.
Now, they kind of gave Donald Trump the finger because there was the one, let me see if I can find, because I know who shared it. I know who made it their banner, at least.
Okay.
So this was on the board on one of the boards around the stadium when they ended up the segment here. And this was the middle finger to Donald Trump here.
Yes. I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that. Yep.
So say what you will, I couldn't care less what your opinion is. The way that I feel, if you're gay, and let's say I'm running a business and you're gay, I'd be like, well, what you do on your time is your thing. Just respect that I'm heterosexual. I respect, I more than respect that. Let's not have a harassing type workplace. That's
exactly. Yeah.
So, and do I like that he speaks Spanish? I mean, I say like that because the thing is, I'm the type of person that, you're just an English speaking bigot. No. If you heard some of my rants, if I'm bitching between calls saying speak English, it's not because they're speaking Spanish.
No.
It's because these people that think they speak English can't speak English.
Nope.
And I've said this a few times. I said, if I had kids, I'd rather have them speak Spanish over English.
You said that, yeah. You definitely said that.
But you know what will happen?
What?
All right, there's that place on Roosevelt Boulevard called Friends. We're going to send you there, or whatever nut house, because you're not all there.
Two thoughts.
Okay.
you and I are thinking the same way as far as Bad Bunny's concerned. I didn't know anything about him.
Neither did I.
And but the one thing that we both said too for the second part, the NFL cares. They really don't care about him, but you know what they do care about? The netto. Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to find out that he got so many of these people on that follow him and he's on YouTube and how much people love him, the NFL's like, oh, you know what that means for us? And that's why you
Now,
saw him
I will
yesterday.
say one thing,
What's that?
and I mentioned to you before the show started. Oh, by the way, at least we think Bad Bunny sang, or whatever.
Right.
Kid Rock, his new nickname is Hillbilly Vanilla because he lip synced through his entire set on his halftime show.
Wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here's the other thing I heard today. They showed a couple getting married.
Mm-hmm.
You know the story behind that?
That was an actual wedding.
Because they actually contacted him because they wanted him to be at the wedding. He turned around and said, "Let's do this. Let me invite you to my place
Yeah.
and have
Mm-hmm.
Is that full circle or what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, what I think what he should have done,
Mm-hmm.
if he really wanted to piss off Donald Trump,
Mm-hmm.
have a gay couple.
Oh, yeah, that would have did it.
Oh, and I did share this. Let me see and if it's not on my Facebook, then fuck it, But remember when I joked around and saying when he gave the kid the Grammy, don't let the Grammy see it because of the Dan Patrick thing?
Yeah.
Because Dan Patrick told Darius Rucker, aka Hootie, give me your Grammy. Grammys didn't like it. They was like, you better give it back. So, the kid that actually got the Grammy,
Mm-hmm.
there was significant to that as well, but I don't find it. Ah, damn it. Oh, well. So the kid, there was symbolism with the kid that, I gotta find it. And, okay, I don't need the YouTube one. Bad Bunny halftime Grammy. Okay. The kid, and this is like different sites, so take your pick of who you want to give the credit to.
Right.
The kid's name was Liam Ramos. He was a 5-year-old detained by ICE. He got the Grammy. He was given a Grammy.
Wow. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one of those.
Mm-hmm. So it's the little things that were little digs that, and who knew Donald Trump actually watched that, because it's the worst halftime show ever. Motherfucker came and speak English. All right, he didn't say exactly on True Social, but you get the idea. But he whatever. I mean, I don't have an opinion on it because I don't know his music, but all I know is, according to Next Gen Stats, he went approximately 123 yards, and the Patriots only went 75.
Wow. He was better than the Pats. Good gracious.
And remember the beginning of the show? Before the game, right before Green Day was doing that little impromptu concert that I was complaining about because I said it should have been before the Black National Anthem.
Yeah.
remember all the guys that came out of that trailer or whatever the hell it was?
Yeah.
Well, you had Eli Manning, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Emmitt Smith, Tom Brady. One guy here, I have no fucking clue who he was now. Peyton Manning, his big ass forehead.
Right.
Lynn Swan.
Right.
So there's one guy, I don't know who he is, but and who else was there last night?
I believe the name you're looking for is Jalen Hurts.
Now, he was the only active Super Bowl winning player
Yep.
to be in that ceremony.
Yep.
So, so the one guy who originated this, I got it from Greg S. Austin on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
35 plus points scored in multiple Super Bowls, an MVP, a ring, and the only player in NFL history with 10 plus pass touchdowns and 10 plus rush touchdowns in a postseason career. He is 27, Jalen Hurts. There is no surprise he's invited to be with this group of greats tonight, Super Bowl 60.
That's true.
So, and we trash him.
Yeah. 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 You got a good point. That's a good point. Good point.
And there is one rule that I have. If I have to run a fantasy football league,
mm-hmm.
we are not doing anything where somebody gets punished for finishing dead last.
Oh, okay.
Because in one league, the guy that finished last had to go to Mumbai and watch the Super Bowl from there.
Wow. Dad.
So Joel Solomon mentions, has anyone, or I think this was this was an X post that ESPN Fantasy Football put their logo over. Has anyone ever flown to Mumbai, India to watch the Super Bowl in a hotel lobby at 5:30 in the morning as a fantasy league punishment? Ask me anything.
Wow. So
he had as you see there, I guess that's a napkin.
Right.
Mumbai for Super Bowl. I suck at fantasy.
Yeah, we would have that. No.
Now, I am a commissioner of one league, but the setup that I have, we have is SJ handles the financials, and I just am the CEO or whatever you want to call it. So, and I said the one thing is we're not doing punishments for somebody finishing last.
Okay.
And by the way, the Sixers and the Trailblazers tipped off.
Okay.
And Arizona's up 5 on Kansas right now in the second half. So I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that we miss, but Seattle should is your new champions, and it leads to this question here. And we may not get to these other topics I had planned, so I may be carrying this over to tomorrow, but whatever. When do you or did you consider the Eagles no longer defending champions?
Oh, that's a good question. It was way before their playoff game, that's for sure.
Well, technically, they were still in playoff hunt and made the playoffs and all that. So
yeah. Well, when they lost their playoff game, they're no longer defending champions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So here's my take, and I went through this listening to the Preston Steve podcast a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Even after they lost, the one thing that they did, and I guess they did it in 2009, where they said, probably said, oh, the Phillies are still the world champions. So if they do finish up the sports report, they say the Eagles are still the Super Bowl champions. Now, technically they'll always be Super Bowl champions.
That's true. That's true.
But like even on Inquirer.com, they didn't have any. They said, "Oh, it's the last day that they're the defending champions." Well, they're no longer defending if they don't have another game to play.
That's true.
So, de facto, yes, but in reality, no, because they're no longer able to get back into the next Super Bowl. The throne was vacated.
That's true. Wow.
But I saw that on Inquirer.com. I saw it a couple of times on Facebook from some of the people that I'm friends with on there. It's just like, get your point, but not really.
It's like
it's kind of like my argument that was proven true with baseball. Like one guy I graduated high school with, he covers the Phillies and the Flyers.
Okay.
And his name's Anthony Sanfilippo. He has a show and all that. He has a podcast as well and other things. So I was like, I said, Ant, just want to ask you this question since you covered the team and you do this. And you are, I said ahead of time, before I say this, if I'm totally wrong, go right ahead. I don't care. Tell me. You know how I have my argument that after the first time around on the batting order, it doesn't matter who's first in the lineup?
I remember that, yeah.
He agreed with me. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Okay.
Because I said, the thing is, the only thing that the lineup is good for after the first time around is making sure you get up at the right time off the bench when it's your turn to hit.
That's true. Because
also, with that, it's also, it's like, second inning, Kyle Schwarber, when he was leading off, didn't lead off every inning. It was whoever was the next person after the last person makes out.
That's true.
Unless the commissioner changes things like that. But, but that was a thought that came to me tonight. So when we were starting the show, when we were starting to talk, I was like, I got to write this down because I have to remember it.
Isn't that the Ric Flair thing? In order to beat a man, you have to beat the man.
Yeah.
If you beat the man, then you can be the man. End of story. Now, here's the other thing that you said.
Woo!
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you did say that. They will always be Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
They're only defending Super Bowl champions one time.
Unless they win two in a row.
Unless they win two in a row, they're only defending, but they will always be Super Bowl champions. So yeah.
And another thing is, Nick Foles will always beat Big Dick Nick.
Oh heck yes! Oh heck yes!
So we wrap up the season with that, and it is what it is. So I saw this today. Apparently, the medals at the Olympics were apparently made by a company with Temu.
Oh wow!
Now I'm exaggerating with the Temu shit, but as you can see, I have a. So apparently, the medals at this year's Olympics so far have been breaking. Now, from what I understand in this article, it isn't like right in two. It isn't like you're snapping a twig or anything like that. Nothing like that. But the clasp that they have that they put the ribbon through, that's been breaking.
Jeez.
So Breezy Johnson. Okay, so I can't play this.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Even though I just did, because it's a woman.
Okay.
At the Milan Cortina Olympics, The theme is Handle with Care. By the way, good song by Traveling Wilburys. Olympic organizer investigating with maximum attention after a spat of medals having fallen off their ribbons during celebrations on the Olympic opening weekend of the Games.
Jeez. That's so wild.
So, women's downhill ski gold medalist Breezy Johnson. And by the way, we have a Lindsay Vonn update coming up in a minute.
Okay.
I just banned the second person. So Johnson said, don't jump in them or don't jump with them around your neck.
Mm-hmm.
I was jumping in excitement and it broke. I'm sure somebody will fix it. It's not crazy broken, just a little broken. Well, if she wants some super glue, I got some super glue over there.
Right.
Hasn't been open. Probably won't even work now, but because I had an issue that I thought I would need super glue for, but I didn't need it. So the TV broadcast from Germany captured the moment of biathlete Justice Strelo. No, not bisexual, but biathlete as in skiing and then shooting. That competition.
Right.
He realized the mixed relay bronze he had won Sunday had fallen off the ribbon around his neck and clattered to the floor as he danced along to a song with his teammates.
That's so wild.
His German teammates cheered as Strelo tried without success to reattach the medal before realizing a smaller piece, seemingly to clasp. Well, you know what Jimmy Dugan said?
What's that?
Avoid the clasp.
That's good advice, Jimmy Dugan.
The clasp had broken off and was still on the floor. U.S. figure skater Alyssa Liu posted a clip on social media of her team event gold medal detached from its official ribbon. So let me see if I can. Let me see that. Let me see if it's still on the main page here. Steph Curry's out of the All-Star game.
Okay.
Let me see. Olympics. And when did the Czech Republic become Czechia?
I had no idea.
It's kind of like Foxborough. When did it become from Foxboro to Foxborough, beginning with OUGH?
Yeah. What did they change that? I don't know.
But all right. Well, if I was smart, I would have. I found it.
Okay.
And this is from. This is on Instagram. And I'll try to play the sound on this if there is. Actually, it's playing the song, so I won't be able to. So I don't want to. Well, anyway, so here we go.
That is too wild. My medal don't need the ribbon. Okay.
Now, for anybody who's all of a sudden saw this one part here where you see the flag like that.
Right.
Now, some people say, oh, that's backwards. The only reason why it's backwards because we got into this discussion about these the cameras on your phone. When you're using the selfie camera, it's inverted
That's true.
a lot of times. So you got to do certain things with that. So, and as you saw there, my medal don't need a ribbon.
She's right. Okay.
Well, maybe, maybe you want to go on. Well, maybe she gets to go on Kelly Clarkson before her season's done. Her show is. I don't know if it's canceled or she just said I don't feel like going anymore. But
It's the latter. Yeah.
the latter, okay.
Yeah.
So Andrea Francisi, not to be confused with St. Francis of Assisi.
I was wondering about that.
He's the chief games operator for the organizing committee. Said it is working on a solution. We're aware of the situation. We've seen the images. Obviously, we're trying to understand in detail if there is a problem, but obviously paying maximum attention to this matter, as the medal is a dream of the athlete. So we want to obviously in this moment they're giving it that everything is absolutely perfect, but we really consider it to be the most important moment. So we're working on it. Now, it's not the first time this has happened because they had issues with the Paris Olympics in 24 as well. Some medals had to be replaced after athletes complained they started to tarnish or corrode, giving them a mottled look like in the crocodile skin.
Wow.
So that is, so right now, don't celebrate too much.
Right.
Or maybe if you're going to jump up and down, tuck it in
Right.
so it doesn't go, I'll go like this a little bit, but And,
If you have a problem, call 1-800-FIX-MY-MEDAL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that. Now, I woke up to this news and, we found out that Lindsay Vonn crashed again. I say again because she crashed in the last event before the Olympics and rupturing her ACL. Well, she has a compound fracture. I'm sorry, they called it a complex fracture of her tibia.
Wow.
Let me get the right bone here. A complex tibia fracture. So she said on Instagram it's going to take multiple surgeries to fix properly. She had a whole thing here. I'm not going to read it. You can go to Lindsay Vonn on Instagram or on Facebook. I saw the thing on Facebook. I started reading. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, this is a novel. I mean, but I understand why she's doing it because she wants to let the information out. But of course, the question that came up was, should she have even tried? Now, the fallout is led to a key question. Should she have even been allowed on a course that is dangerous even to perfectly healthy skiers? Now, my question was different because, my decision, my opinion doesn't mean shit. But the point that I made was, with the brace, how is that going to affect the aerodynamics?
Right.
But what happened was, but they're all saying, social media was saying no. The skiers were saying yes. That she should have, that she should have been allowed on the course.
I would the skiers.
Because they know.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if it was not an Olympic year, I'm sure she's, well, first, she's not making a comeback. And two, if she did make a comeback, she's not skiing the rest of the season.
No.
Because this is something that happens once every 4 years, and she came back because of it.
Yep.
But people who, this is from Keely Cashman, a former teammate of Vaughn. People don't know ski racing don't really understand what happened yesterday. She hooked her arm on the gate like this because she was like, I think what she was trying to probably do was like hit it with her forearm, the gate. But instead, when she timed it, it got hooked and the momentum twisted her around.
Oh, wow.
So she hooked her arm in the gate, which twisted her around. She was probably going 70 miles an hour, so that twists your body around.
Right.
So Vonn lost control within seconds of leaving the start house yesterday, clipping the gate with her right shoulder and pinwheeling down the slope before ending up awkwardly on her back. Her skis crisscrossed. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't be joking around, should I? But so her skis crisscrossed below her, and her screams ringing out as medical personnel arrived. She was taken to a clinic in Cortana and then transferred to a larger hospital in Treviso. She went under an orthopedic operation to stabilize a fracture in her left leg, according to the hospital. Now, Cashman, who was knocked unconscious in a serious crash 5 years ago, defended what happened to Vonn. The injury had nothing to do with her ACL, nothing to do with her knee, and called the public's assumptions totally incorrect.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how you feel. I'm just like, well, she wants to race. I mean, I was just afraid that something like this would happen, but I thought it would be more along the lines of the leg giving out and not something totally different, like hooking your arm on a gate.
Right.
So, I mean,
well, like I said, it was her decision to do it, and she didn't want to wake up when the Olympics come on and saying, "What if? Why didn't I do it?" If she decided not to do it, like you said, once every 4 years, you go through all that training. I'm not going to tell you not to. Yeah.
I mean, she's 41 years old.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have Tiger to tell her to go or not to go, because they did break up a while back.
Yeah.
Actually, quite a few years ago. But you know, they had all kinds of you know, they did have all kinds of situations here called Olympic grit. Other athletes who faced hard decisions. I won't get into that only because, you know, it's just, well, first of all, the font's really small and all that other stuff. But so Vonn's a four-time overall World Cup champion. Had looked like an Olympic contender in her return to complete after nearly 6 years, but she ruptured her ACL the week prior. She continued to prepare for the Olympics, competing multiple downhill training runs at the games. So that's key because, you know, if she wasn't able to complete it, obviously, I don't think she would have ran.
No, she wasn't. Right.
But, you know, Frederica Brignone. Hey! Oh, I should have. I don't have the. I do have Italian music. I think that's a woman anyway. If it's a guy, I apologize.
Hey,
so
I'm a man.
So if it is a guy, I know what you're thinking.
Who the fuck is that guy?
But anyways, he or she said it's her choice. If it's her body, then you decide what to do, whether to race or not. It's not up to others, only you.
Yeah.
Good point. Kyle Negamir, who's an American downhiller, echoed that thought. Lindsay's a grown woman and the best speed skater ever do the sport. If she made her decision, I think she'd absolutely be allowed to take that risk. So I think this was FIS President Johan Eliash who said this. What is also important to people to understand is that the accident she had yesterday, she was incredibly unlucky. It was a 1 in 1,000. She got too close to the gate and she got stuck. And when she was in the air in the gate and started rotating, no one recovered for that unless you do a 360. This is something which is a part of ski racing. It's a dangerous sport.
Okay.
But you know, I mean, I know because I mentioned we were going to mention this tonight. I guarantee you before yesterday, or even after the game, I was like, oh man, I just missed the crash. I guarantee you didn't give a shit either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
her choice.
You know, it's kind of like you know, my body, my choice.
That's it.
So you know.
And I was thinking about that. What's that Olympic gymnast? Carrie Strug, when she had broke her ankle, twisted her ankle, she still went in there on one leg. Yeah.
Because she had to do it to win.
Yeah. And like she did all that training to do that. So yeah, you're not gonna tell her, no, you can't do this. Look, no.
And when she landed, Ow, but I did it.
She would have made a half a minute. Anyway, yeah.
But anyway, so that's the Olympic thing here. North Dakota State is no longer an FCS school in football.
Wow.
Just to let you know. FCS powerhouse North Dakota State has finalized its agreement to join the Mountain West Conference in football only starting next year.
Okay.
Or next season, I should say, because it is this year, 2026.
Right.
So the school's expected to pay $12 million to join the conference, which is in addition to the $5 million it'll pay the NCAA to move to FBS.
Jeez.
But they can make that back in NIL and
Mm-hmm.
whatever else. So Gloria Navarez, who's the commissioner, said the Bison bring a championship mindset and a bold vision for growth that aligns with the unwavering commitment to excellence of the Mountain West. Their dedication to elevating the student body experience on the field, in the classroom, throughout the community will energize the Mountain West and help propel our football profile to new heights nationwide. Now, the one thing is, the last few years, you know how you get the FCS school, they play the FBS school,
Yeah.
especially a Power 5, Power 4 conference because, money.
Right.
A lot of teams shied away, a lot of schools shied away from North Dakota State because they ended up beating those schools. They beat Iowa, they beat a couple other schools. They almost beat Arizona State in a couple of years ago when I had a parlay that started at 12 noon, and I stupidly decided I'm going to pick North Dakota State, and I think it was USC.
Uh-huh.
The parlay ended up 4 out of 6, but the parlay didn't die until 2:30 in the morning.
Oh.
So rule number 1,
Right.
I'm going to tell you guys, a little gambling tip. Don't do a parlay that lasts 14 hours.
Right.
But I digress. So now this is a big move for them because they've won 10 of the last 15 national championships in FCS.
That's right.
So now the interesting thing to see here is what is that going to do with their facilities? Now, I imagine with the extra money in Mountain West and everything, and they're eventually going to get more money out of this.
They should.
But so they're going to join the Mountain West for football only. I wouldn't be surprised in a couple of years you see them going Mountain West for everything.
Yeah.
But it gives them 10 football teams for 2026, the conference.
Mm-hmm.
As part of the conference's rebuild after losing Boise State, Colorado State, Fresno State, San Diego State, Utah State to the Pac-12.
Gives them more credibility by having North Dakota State there.
So we may have an interesting situation with the Bison, or the Bison.
Mm-hmm.
I think they prefer it to be pronounced. Going to have an interesting situation there. They're going to play a full Mountain West schedule next year.
Right.
But they will not be eligible for the conference championship game or postseason play, including the college football playoff or bowl games, until 2028 while undergoing a 2-year transition. So let's say they win that conference in the first year,
Right.
which is very possible because, Mountain West, I mean, it's not an easy conference, but, it's not Big Ten, SEC, but, but they have to go through this 2-year transition that, teams have to do, or schools have to do. Now, some people who may even watch this after the fact will say, Joe, what about the University of Delaware? Because they were FBS for the first year this year, but they played and won a bowl game.
Ooh, good question for you.
I will tell you. North Dakota State, however, could still be chosen for a bowl game if there's not enough bowl eligible teams.
trying to think of what sense that makes.
Well, before they go and take the 5 and 7 teams,
Yeah,
let's say North Dakota State goes 9-3.
right.
They're not eligible at first, but you can use them to backfill if they want to. And I guarantee you, this isn't like some school from FCS that went 6-6 last year. This is a team that they actually lost in the quarterfinals last year, but they were the number 1 team in the country most of the year, if not all year.
Right.
So, and you got a perennial power, had won 10 of 15, has also beat these FBS schools like Iowa and other ones, which, I don't know off the top of my head, but, it got to the point where we don't want to play them. We're not giving them any money because not only are we giving them money, they're also giving us an L. They won't take that L.
No. They're this cool.
They're giving us the D.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So the Mountain West will be next year North Dakota State, and they'll be playing the likes of Northern Illinois, UTEP, Air Force, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, San Jose State, UNLV, and Wyoming.
They might not lose a game in the conference.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just that good.
So now the one thing I know from watching those FCS playoff games,
Mm-hmm.
I know their stadium's extremely small. It only seats like 18,000.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Maybe in a couple of years they announce, oh, well, we're going to build a new stadium on campus, but it's obviously got to be indoors because of the fact that North Dakota is pretty fucking cold.
Yeah.
But also in November, it does get cold, but it's not January, February cold,
Right.
But it still gets cold. But it'll be interesting to see. And, I think they're going to do with Delaware and they'll be backfilled into a ball game.
I can see that.
Yeah. And, and they'll be on the NCAA college football game as well.
Didn't Wentz come from North Dakota State?
Who?
Wentz.
Yep.
And they won when he was there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was hurt all the time at North Dakota State, which is no shocker now that we know what he did in the NFL, but,
But they still won.
Mm-hmm. One last story that I planned here tonight before we get to that update on the woman whose car was frozen on Front Street, literally. New York University, NYU. They set a Division III record yesterday. They won their 82nd consecutive game yesterday.
That's amazing.
They beat Carnegie Mellon 69-58 to break the tie with rival Washington University of St. Louis, which won 81 games from 1998 to 2001. Now, it's not UConn where they won 110.
Right.
And by the way, I did see yesterday our girl Dawn Staley.
Yeah.
Even though this is tangent and pond tangent,
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned yesterday that she had a Seahawks jersey on yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
They played Tennessee. They gave Tennessee their worst loss ever yesterday, 92-50.
Ow!
Mm-hmm.
Pat Summer's old team. Ouch.
Or at least what we know from what was on the scroll there. And by the way, Kansas is up 67-64 right now.
They might break it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and I thought I saw a stat that number 1 teams going into Fog Allen Fieldhouse were 38-0 was the number 1 team.
It might be 38-1 after tonight.
Which I saw, I was like, what? But so NYU coach Meg Barber said, thrilled we beat Wash U for that record. I'm a competitive person. Rally respect this league, and to have any type of streak is incredible. She knows firsthand about the record her team broke, having been a player at NYU when the team's rival was racking up the victories.
Ah, okay. So she's seen it from both sides.
Yeah, and she said, hopefully this quiets the noise, outside noise. Let's get back to our main goals of winning another national championship.
I don't see no reason why they can't.
Yeah. Now you said the UCLA streak. That's the men, 88 in a row. UConn holds the record at 111 games in a row. Who has the number 2 streak?
Oh. Women or men?
Women.
That could be Tennessee.
Mm-mm.
Or South Carolina.
Mm-mm.
Who has them too?
UConn. They had a 90-game streak.
So
They have the top 2 streaks.
They got the top 2 streaks.
Mm-hmm.
Gino.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania guy.
Mm-hmm. Delco guy.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So they have 82 in a row. Now, this streak probably will rival. Hey, Mike Tirico made it to Italy.
Yeah, he did.
Damn, that was quick.
He said he left right after the game yesterday.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how far here. Well, probably left from San Jose Airport because I think, from what I understand, and here we go with another tangent. The way that the stadium is built is because it's on the approach to San Jose Airport, from what I understood.
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. But even though the competition isn't UConn related,
Right.
you can compare it on a lower level to UConn because during their historic streak, only 3 teams have come within single digits of the NYU Violets. University of Chicago lost by 6, Whittier by 8, and then Case Western Reserve by 8 2 days ago, or actually 3 days ago.
Everybody else has been blown out.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you can kind of compare that to UConn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now, for those that may be watching who are UConn fans or everything, I admit it's not anything, it's not UConn in terms of historic, but it's still worthy of being mentioned and somewhat historic at their level.
Oh, it is.
But I mean, can you imagine going more than 2 years without losing a game?
I'm thinking those first 10 games of the season, it's like, usually you might not go 10-0 or about 9-1 or 8-2.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they got that first game and they just kept going.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, and also with the Super Bowl, I just thought about it now.
What's that?
Trying to see who Charlotte played here tonight. Because apparently there was a big brawl. Pistons and Hornets. That's why Dan Levitard said malice at the spectrum. Okay, I get your point now. But I'm trying to see one thing here. Okay, so for those that are watching right now, here's a quick background in regards to the woman on who was on Front Street that had her car totally frozen. Hopefully you'll hear the sound. Me and Mike will because we're here, but if you don't hear it, I apologize in advance. So, well, at least they have closed captioning for the hump up people.
It's fine. I mean, it's kind of funny, so it is what it is.
Tiana has an amazingly good attitude about her car now frozen under inches of ice in Northern Liberties.
I shoveled it out on Monday and I was driving on Tuesday. and then I left it in the same spot that I shoveled out.
Tiana is a school teacher in Philly, and while her Honda got the worst of it, a few other cars aren't going anywhere right now either. So lots of people assume water had dripped down from the L tracks above, but neighbors say, no, it was a water main break that caused all this damage. They said the water ran down Front Street for a couple days straight, and every time cars would go by, they'd splash water up onto these cars, just making layer after layer after layer of ice.
The whole area was blocked off, and I walked over to the cop, and he told me not to move my car, so then I didn't, and then it all kind of froze over, and my car kind of got the worst of it.
When I finally saw it in person, I'm like, wow.
Everyone who comes by snaps pics of the cars and wonders just how the heck you'd even get it out.
I know, it's so bad. I have no idea what they're going to do. It's like encapsulated in ice, frozen.
Yeah, I mean, wait it out a month or two, maybe 3 months, when the weather gets better, yeah.
Tiana's car does start, but the exhaust pipe is covered by ice, so it's really not safe to run. Even commercial de-icers probably couldn't get through the ice on these cars, and hot water might help, but it also might lead to big cracks in all the glass. Tiana's insurance company says they're going to tow her out on Monday, and in the meantime, she's just going to keep trying to find the funny in all this.
I have seen it on TikTok and a few other things, so I think it's pretty funny, but it's fine. It's whatever. It happens.
Okay. So that was the story from January 30th. So the update that I shared was that the car was basically totaled. They did get the car out, but it was totaled. Let's fast forward to today. Because now you know exactly where this is.
Okay.
Right?
Well, where what? Where the car was?
By Front and Girard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've been past it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a Carvana there. So if you were driving down I-95 and you pass the Girard Avenue exit and you're going by the L and you see this glass tube,
yeah,
that's Carvana.
Okay.
And it's almost like a vending machine with cars. So Carvana there. There we go. She gets a free car from Carvana.
What?
Mm-hmm. After a frozen car garnered tens of millions of views on TikTok, Tiana Graham is getting a new car for free, gifted to her by Carvana, whose car vending machine tower features prominently in the background of her videos.
Oh, they got free publicity. They said, this is what we're going to do for you.
Uh-huh.
That's funny. Wow. Okay.
So she's a 24-year-old fifth grade math teacher at Community Academy of Philadelphia. She had a 2016 Honda Civic. Vehicle became thoroughly encased in ice following a snowstorm and Arctic temperatures. On Tuesday, Graham reached out to Carvana, hoping she could leverage the car's tower inadvertent virality in her videos to get a discount on a new car. Carvana soon responded, eager to help. When Graham, a Fishtown resident, arrived at the facility on Friday afternoon with her mom and sister, she said she expected Carvana would offer her some percentage off one of her cars. She was stunned to see a bright blue 2022 Honda Civic descend from the car vending machine with a big bow on it, school supplies inside, and an ice pick, which I guess I do need, she said with a laugh.
That's funny.
Carvana spokesperson Haley Pollock confirmed Friday the car will be free for Graham once all the paperwork is finalized. And oh, by the way, she'll probably have to pay taxes as well.
That's all, yeah.
I was shocked in disbelief learning the car would be free. It's a beautiful car. The car is used and has about 28,000 miles on it. She expects to have it in her possession next week based on initial conversation with Carvana. She plans to take it for a spin for the first time next weekend to drive to Ocean City, Maryland for a National Federation of Blind convention, she said. Graham, whose sister is blind, which I will show you that picture again because I did notice the cane there.
Okay.
Said she's currently pursuing a graduate degree to become an orientation mobility specialist to help blind people learn to use canes. All things do happen for a reason. She said, learning from this experience, anything bad that's happening, something good will always come out of it. There was the car originally. And it was a combination of the extreme cold and a water main break and all the splashing that you get when you have a puddle and all that stuff. So Now there is a car about a block down or two from us here on Large Street.
Uh-huh.
It hasn't moved in 3 weeks.
Okay.
Now, granted, it's not completely encased in ice, but it got plowed in.
Oh, wow.
So the driver's side probably has about 12, 15, 18 inches of snow
Right.
that they never did anything with. So, you know, but, you know, we do see that. So there's a happy ending to the story.
It sure is.
Oh, and I got to show that one other thing here as well.
I didn't see it as a king.
Yeah, so there's a king. And, you know, the white king means that the person is blind, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Where are we going? It's a surprise. So, okay. So let me just show one other thing here. I was teasing this. I forgot to mention this already. And here it is. So apparently Bill Belichick's, well, first of all, Bill Belichick's still with the girl.
Surprise.
Because there was rumors floating around.
Right.
So his girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, decided to troll Robert Kraft, allegedly. Now, I wonder if Bill Belichick went there as well and got away with it, but because apparently she showed up to the North Carolina game with an Orchids of Asia t-shirt.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I thought they were making out nice, Belichick and Kraft, you know?
Oh.
Kraft said nice things about Belichick. I'm sure Belichick probably said something that, Kraft should be in the Hall of Fame, blah, blah, blah. And then
wow.
She decides, Orchids of Asia. It's the only thing blue I really have. And,
right.
You know, we see the happy ending in progress over there on the shirt. Yeah.
Oh, his girlfriend got jokes. That's funny. Wow.
Now, who thinks that she did that on her own? Nobody.
No.
Who thinks Bill had a hand in it? Well, he also had her hand. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm going to do this thing. You're going to like it. And then we're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Now, I did look because there is a site where you can see all the college football schedules for X amount of years out.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina does not play Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, over the next 3 years. So,
right.
So we don't have anybody saying, we won't get the thrill of him saying, we're on to Cincinnati.
Right.
But, yeah, so that's everything in a nutshell. And, congrats to the Seahawks. We lent you our title.
Yep. Yeah, we did. Exactly. It's only on loan.
And we're going to get it back next year.
Yes, we are.
So, so that is going to be it for this show. And Mike is about to have fun getting out of that parking spot.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't that bad because, everybody's angle parking here since we got that.
I should be able to just
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Mike, thanks once again.
Of course.
And I forgot to do one thing at the start of the show, damn it. One of my jokes.
Okay.
But just to let you know, if you're ever going to be a bingo caller, okay, I'm going to leave you with this. Apparently, a meal for two with a hairy view is not the correct way to pronounce 69.
No, that wouldn't be good. No, no, no.
And with that, we are now canceled.
Oh, you got one more thing.
What's that?
Your promo.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Also eligible will be live this Saturday, whether or not I have any articles, because, there are some technical issues I won't get into. But Saturday, we will be on the Kentucky Derby Trail again, Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks Prep Trail, as the trail goes to the fairgrounds in New Orleans, where I guarantee you it's above 32 degrees.
Yeah.
And it will finally get back. I was watching the news last night after you left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what the fuck is that for there?
It's gonna be 40 degrees tomorrow.
Yeah. So we have the Risen Star, which is a Kentucky Derby prep race. I think these are 50-point races. And the Rachel Alexandra is a Kentucky Oaks prep race. So we'll definitely look at the fairgrounds on Saturday. Whether or not there's any articles, that remains to be seen. Those that don't see my articles, just let you know there's a technical issue that, it's out of my control. So, and, it is what it is. So I will be live tomorrow night at 9:00. Talking about what, I don't know. But we'll be talking about something.
Yeah, you will.
Maybe it'll be a shorter show, because now we're getting to the part where, we don't even have NHL hockey. We have Olympic hockey, but that's about to start in a day or two. But other than that, not much.
But our Phillies will go on the pitchers and catchers report next week, right? Here we go. Okay.
Oh, and I did see on the news, because we have my backup to the backup to the backup TV here in the dining room here. And if we short it out with coffee or water or whatever, who gives a shit? Just pick it up and throw it in the dumpster. But I did see that Zach Wheeler's not playing to be ready for opening day.
Oh, really?
Not that we were expecting it, but.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But I think we're starting to get to the point where, all right, well, what about Nick Castellanos? Well, we're trying to trade him.
Yeah, they are.
Well, I don't think he's going to Pittsburgh now, because I saw Marcell Osuna got signed by the Pirates today.
Oh, okay.
Like $13 million for a year, which is like $60 million to the Dodgers.
Well, at least he's out of our hands.
Well, you still have to pay him 6 times a year, not 13.
Yeah, I can do 6 rather than 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is it for now. Mike, thanks once again. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. I'll be back tomorrow on all these channels. And we'll have some fun here. And